these are the free agents we have. So we only have two technically now that we have a guy who's tagged. Well, let's begin. So we got Mike Edwards, safety. We got him last year, 1 year deal, $3 million. Deon Bush came back, another 1 year deal. I think he made like a veteran minimum. And L'Jarius Sneed tagged. That's a tag. Cap hit about 19.8 mil. So that's that. We'll get to the L'Jarius Sneed aspect of things. But JD, talking specifically about Deon Bush, Mike Edwards. These are guys who aren't really talked about a lot. I don't hear a lot of people even talking about retaining them because obviously, like we've talked about, the Chris Jones, L'Jarius Sneed, the first two dominoes to fall in the entire, free agency landscape for us in the Chiefs kingdom. But like Mike Edwards and Deon Bush, those two guys. Deon Bush more so special teams, but he did come give some spot help throughout the year on defense when guys were out with injuries and stuff. But then Mike Edwards was phenomenal. Probably one of the most unsung additions of our free agency class last year. That's a guy I would love to have back. Obviously, we're going to see what kind of price he wants going forward. But what do you think about that Mike Edwards and Deon Bushes of the world?
Look, I like Mike Edwards. I think Mike Edwards is a solid safety. He's one of those guys that is always going to bring his hard hat and lunch pail to work every single day. When he's out there on the field, he's going to be solid for you. He's going to make plays. He's going to always show up. And he's kind of got that wily veteran presence about himself that teams covet. And so when we had Cooks that got hurt for us last year, Mike Edwards came in and did a tremendous job in his reserve. He really did. And so I think if you look at his games and how he played, he did a great job for us. He really did a great job. And so Mike Edwards is a guy that I think that you still had to and sit there and ask, like, look, is this a guy that we want to keep on our team? He's a guy that is a captain just by the way that he moves around, the way that he plays. You can see that guys like this, like Mike Edwards, right? You like a guy like that. You like a player of his caliber on your team. He makes your team better. And so it's just not left on Justin Reed to be like the captain or the voice. Mike Edwards comes in and he knows exactly what to do. He's been on championship teams. So we understand that. He knows what it means to be a champion. If teams don't understand that, you could go to this whole McCall Harmon thing when he was talking about the Jets, about what you do to be a champion. He could understand, like, maybe some of the things they were doing wasn't a championship team, okay? You get mad at him all you want to. You could say that he gave some things off about, the offenses or whatever, gave the defense what their plans were. But he's right. You want guys that understand what it means to be a champion and how you become a champion, what it means to take care of your body, doing all those things. Mike Edwards gives you that, right? He's that veteran presence. And so then we go down to like a guy like Deon Bush. Deon Bush, like you said, is more of a special teams guy, okay? He's one of those guys that's always going to push to try to make the team. He's always going to come in. He came in, made a play. He got the interception with the one game. What was that?
The Ravens game?
Was it Ravens or was it the Bills? Was it Ravens? I don't know, man.
I thought it was that play where everyone said he was they were holding.
Yes, Ravens. That's right, in the end zone. Correct.
Yep.
And so that's what you want. You want a guy to come in and fill the position and not be a drop off. Okay, Deon Bush is those guys. He's a guy that I love because he comes and explode and he'll hit guys. Yeah. That one game, maybe that's what I'm talking about, the Bills. I think when he came in, he just started tattooing guys. I mean, laying them out. I'm just like, man, who was hitting these jokers out there like that? And it was Deon Bush. He was lighting folks up. And so he was just taking advantage of his opportunities that he had, man. So I like these guys. Obviously, what you want to try to do to retain these guys is have a team-friendly deal to keep them here. And I think the Chiefs will try to do that. We know we got some very capable guys on the squad right now. When Shamari Connors, when Cooks come back, will we be looking for somebody in the draft for maybe another safety? Yeah, possibly, of course. I'm going to bring up another guy that people don't really talk about, at least in this whole process, is Justin Edwards. Okay. People talk, Justin Reed, I'm sorry. Justin
Reed, yeah.
Justin Reed. People are talking about Justin Reed, and wanting to get rid of him and get out of meet the contract with Justin Reed. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't quite understand sometimes the mindset people get into that they only think about money. They don't think about impact on the team, right? And sometimes when you get caught and just thinking about money, trying to save money, then guess what? You put everybody else in jeopardy. You compromise what you're trying to do defensively, offensively, whatever it is that you're trying to attack in that position, particular position. I say that we were compromised, I think, on wide receiver wise. Okay, I will say that maybe because of some of the moves that we didn't make. Now that's what we say we want to overkill now at the wide receiver or whatever.
Overhaul, overcorrect.
Overhaul, whatever it is, right, to get guys in here now, right? Overcorrect. You do too much of overcorrection. But I like our secondary. I like everybody that's in there. Obviously, we know L'Jarius Sneed and the tag that we got. He's a solid guy, most versatile corner that is probably in the league. Can do it all. Can play slot, can play corner, can play safety. You can put that guy anywhere, and he'll make a way. He'll be one of the better guys in the league playing at that position. Okay, that's what the L'Jarius Sneed gives you. And so, like I said before, it was smart for the Chiefs to go ahead and tag L'Jarius Sneed. So.
Yeah, I fear that for the people who are big fans of the Mike Edwards of the world, because I think we'll get to Sneed in a second here, but I think Sneed's pretty much, I think we could say he probably is gone. I think they're going to get traded for a pick. There's too much hype around that aspect of moving on and allowing him to seek a trade. But I think the Mike Edwards of the world, I think the same thing is going to fall into the whole L'Jarius Sneed thing. We have and we're going to get to all the guys we have on the roster. We have so many guys at DB, at cornerback, safety, so many guys who are going to be kind of filling these roles that these guys played a pivotal part of this year. I think Jamari Connor, we're going to see even more of him next year because he means a guy who can play safety, DB, cornerback, slot, nickel, anything. And that's something that we have versatility, and that's something that we like, and that's why we have those guys so they can fill in, and we don't have to end up paying another 1 year, $4 million or $3 million deal to Mike Edwards. And I think he's earned more than that, and I think if I was him, this guy's got 2 rings now, one from us and one from Tampa. I mean, he can chase as much money as he can, and quite frankly, go for it, go do that. I mean, you brought a ring, to us.
A guy like Mike Edwards will always be employed.
Oh yeah,
he would always be employed because teams understand what they get with a guy like him, right? There's no question about it. And so he's not somebody that is going to turn down tackles. He's not somebody you have to worry about getting in trouble, whatever it may be, right? He's going to be a solid guy that's going to be able to come on your team, and he's going to produce. He's going to produce. So yeah, if he's able to go out in free agency and get some money, then hey, but forever by all means, more power to him, right? I'm all about that anyway. I love guys being able to have to go out there and get paid a big money
for sure.
But my thing is, like you said, the versatility of the guys that we have. We got a lot of guys. That's a great problem to have when you have a lot of guys to play.
When I was making the list to see who's under contract next year, and there was even guys we signed to a futures deal who a lot of people were loving coming out of the draft the last year. Trey Dean, who we'll get into that when we talk about the list we have. But I was looking at it, I was like, man, there's so many guys we have here. I just can't really see us. We've already devoted a lot of assets and resources to that room. It's like you're going to spend more money on that, and you're letting Sneed walk. You want to keep Chris Jones at the big deal that he wants, and they're probably going to give it to him based on everything I've read, which is great. But that's got to come from somewhere, and we have a lot of money and a lot of things tied to. Well, we don't have a lot of money tied to it, but we have a lot of resources and assets tied to the DB room, and we're going to have a lot of guys coming back. Najee Johnson will be coming back this year from his ACL injury. I mean, there's so much going there in that DB room. So. It'll suck to lose Mike Edwards because he was great this year, man. I didn't know much about him going into the season, but he gave so much energy and life to our defense. I mean, it's a really big plays because the defensive secondary that really didn't get a lot of takeaways. He was one of the guys who had a lot of takeaways during the season for us. And I believe he was the one that pitched the ball to Cook on the infamous Tyreek Hill fumble.
Oh,
he was the one that got it and gave it to Brian Cook on that. So bro, these ads are coming like crazy tonight. About time. I'm sorry, brother. I don't know. That's YouTube, man, not us.
What's that? What's going on?
No, about time says, bro, these ads are coming like crazy tonight. But that's a YouTube issue, buddy.
No.
Um,
I'm the Brown says Devin White and Edwards destroyed our Chiefs. They did. They played lights out against us.
domination.
Oh my gosh! So that's what I know. I watching them in Tampa and then having Mike here, I'm just like, man, that's a perfect match made in heaven. Why wouldn't we get a guy like that?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't we get a guy like that?
Yeah.
So the teams are going to win, like I said, with a Mike Edwards. They are. They definitely will. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's some 49ers on some janky biz. Did you see that? They try to snag away Spagnuolo.
No.
They offered the DC job. That's why we jumped on and offered him that extension to give him about $5 million a year on that extension, because they try to swoop in and get him.
Yeah, look, man. I think Spags is a guy that is a loyal guy. I don't think for him, he would want to take it. They had to give him an offer that he couldn't refuse, which was going to be hard to do. And y'all didn't win Super Bowls here. You can look for a three-peat. There's no reason to go to the dark side like the 49ers to try to help them jokers out. So but that's what they were talking about, not just Spags, right? So they try to get a couple of guys.
Well, they had what's his name, our DB's coach, interviewed for that job as well. He didn't get it. I think they promoted somebody within their organization, but they wanted Spags and they wanted guys, slipped my name right now. Our secondary coach, which is odd for some reasons. But yeah, so obviously they like something that we had on our side of the ball.
Well, yeah. You talk about Dave Merrick.
Yes, Merritt. Yeah, blanked on that one.
Yeah, but man, we Spags is a guy that, like I said, is a loyal guy. You can tell his character is one that he loves a guy that he's coaching. Why would you want to go anywhere else? And I think the Chiefs. I'm glad that the Niners came in to try to sweep him up. That helped him in his case.
Mm-hmm.
For him. So I'm glad we paid him and didn't let him go. So
yeah, he showed Reed and Veach that, hey man, like they want to bring me in. You guys gotta ante up a little bit, and then we did, and we did it. The crazy thing was, the parade was Wednesday. They announced it like that right before the parade. So Sunday to Wednesday, San Francisco reached out, and they probably, when they're shaking hands, Lynch was like, "Hey, we'd love to bring you in as a DC."
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go to talk a little bit more about L'Jarius Sneed, the man of Monday, I would say. So Sneed was tagged officially today. 1 year, $19.8 million. Which if he's traded, that'll be picked up by the other team, so that wouldn't be on us. Reported tag and trade if long-term deal is not reached. So reportedly so far, you got Dolphins, Lions, Eagles, Falcons are all interested in L'Jarius Sneed. Those are the teams that have been listed by numerous different reporters that are interested in Sneed. The thing that stands out to me here, JD, is the fact that 3 of the 4 teams are NFC teams, and then the one team that's not NFC team is a team that we trade Tyreek Hill to. So I thought that was pretty funny. But if we are going to trade him to the best offer, I would say number 1. Number 2, get him to the other conference.
Look, it's always the best offer. To me, that's the way that you had to deal with this. I wouldn't necessarily care if he was in the same conference. I really wouldn't. If the deal works, and I don't even care if it's a divisional opponent. To be honest, shoot. My thing is, hey, if they give you what you want, then you take it. That's the way that works. But yeah, man, he goes to the Lions. I mean, sure, you go to the Lions, man. You put them jokers on a whole different level. I mean, them jokers was good this past year. Same thing with the Eagles. The Eagles, they've been looking for a DB. They've been looking for a guy. Bradbury and those guys didn't work for him. So if Sneed went to the Eagles, it'd be something else right there now. Mm-hmm. Something else. Falcons, they're not going to be making no noise anytime soon. No time soon. Dolphins, obviously, we know what he had to deal with on the opposite side of the ball. Defensively, I still think that you can challenge them, against their defense. But I do think, with the Lions and the Eagles, it does strengthen what they got. Yeah. So yeah, Ghost Hunter says I think the Lions and Eagles are most likely to land him. Yeah, probably. And here's the thing though too, we got to realize, Eagles, they do have some of the people that we got a connection with, right? That's how it works. So maybe there might be something, a friendly thing happens. Okay, friendly thing happens with them because we just, we got a little bit more of a rapport and relationship with the Eagles. Okay,
that's true. Yeah, I was looking at their obviously I'm always trying to look and see what other teams were wants and needs this offseason. Apparently, the Lions, who they went out this offseason, they went and got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who was with Philadelphia last year. They brought him in, and apparently there's a chance that he could go back to Philadelphia this year. It was a 1-year deal. But looking at talking about to the day 2 picks, the report that came out today that we probably go get a day 2 pick. The Lions, I haven't looked. I didn't look at the Eagles. So yeah. So actually, Eagles have 2 second-round picks, two second-round picks, and potentially 4 fifth-round picks. That projected compensatory picks. They have 4 of those. So they have 2 seconds and 4 fives. I could easily go a package of a 2nd and 5, and then the Lions have 2 thirds. So, I mean, obviously we were talking about best offers there. You have either a 2nd and a 5th, or a 3rd and a 6th or something. I wouldn't mind either one of those, to be quite honest with you, especially if we don't want to pay the price tag that L'Jarius Sneed wants.
Yeah. Well, there's so many scenarios that you can look at, right? What you want to be able to get. So I'm looking over here right now. Like I said, I'm looking for a 2nd rounder, 2nd and 3rd. I further down in the draft, I'd rather not have. It's just more of a chance. Now, like you could get a 2nd rounder for him. That's what you want to do, right? So when I'm looking, you said the Eagles have 2, right? 2nd round.
Eagles have 2 second-round picks. Yes.
Okay, so I see pick number 53 and pick number 50 from New Orleans. So that's 2 good positions, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Falcons have 2 third-round picks. Lions have 2 third-round picks. So that's the one thing I'm noticing, that pretty much every team that we're looking at has multiple either 2nds or 3rds. Let me see with the Dolphins. The Dolphins have any more to give? Yeah, Dolphins have nothing. They have a 1st, 2nd, no 3rd, no 4th. Yeah, the Dolphins, unless they give us that 2nd, out. They're out of my out of my estimation.
Yeah. So where's I don't see that happening. And we that's pick number 55. So I just if you get 2 thirds, that's what it'd be also too. Like, hey man, you can put that on the books. But look, you had to make it worth our while. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's a good thing that we have the rumors 4 teams potentially wanting the one guy. Then you have a bidding war, like, hey, like we're getting this off from so and so. And we'll probably end up doing what we did with Tyreek. Like, hey, like Jets are offering us this, Miami's offering us this. Like, we're probably gonna go with this one. Is that okay? That's probably what's gonna end up being something along the lines of that. When you have 4 teams bidding for one guy.
Yeah. I just, to me, like that's why I said Philly kind of makes a little bit more sense. I like where they're sitting at in their picks.
Yeah.
So.
And they have 4 fifth-rounders, so they'll be able to part with one of those 5ths and a 2nd. That'd be amazing.
Oh man, yeah, it would be. It would be.
And we know Veach does those 5th-round picks. He likes those. Sneed was a 4th-round pick, but close enough. But I mean, Veach dominates with those late day 3 picks.
Hey man, yeah, dude. He's supposed to be the secondary whisperer, right? That's Veach. That's his thing, huh? This is what he's been showing up with.
I mean, he finds gems.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.